Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. All right, guys, let's get into it, okay? I'm supposed to start at 12, but I really didn't want to miss out on a lot of the stuff that went on, so it took me a lot longer than I thought that it was going to take. What's up, One Shot Gaming, Rashonda Greer, Savannah, Tracy Lee, she's leaving. She's going to catch the replay. Daria, I think I said, thank you so much, guys. Big Wolf Status, thank you so much for joining me, guys. I am excited, okay? Let me just come out the gate and say that, first of all, I saw the episode tonight. I didn't even get to catch it at 12 a.m. because for my members, I would have been hit y'all with the first reaction recap. I fell asleep last night, guys. I was exhausted. So I've been excited to watch the episode, and I just want to get it out the way and say, man, I was not disappointed. Okay. Like, they gave me everything that I needed. I'm happy with it. Of course, it's my favorite spinoff for Power. And I'm not saying that because Burke got deleted. No, like, they really just delivered everything. They just served it on a platter. Like, here we go. We got everything you need. We got shenanigans. We got drama coming, like, and I'm just here for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like Thanksgiving. Like, we got, how do I say it? Let me see. We got lies, cheating, stealing, drama, shenanigans, alliances, you name it. You name it. Drama, shenanigans, everything. Okay? You name it. So, what's up, Stephen Harris and Samara and Tina and Renee? Hey, let's get into it, y'all. So, the episode, it kicks off, guys. Soon, it's the aftermath. Okay. What up, LSW? I'm kind of reading. I got to get out these comments, y'all. Let me get into this stuff. So, guys, we immediately see the aftermath of the mafia hit. Okay, we got Marvin in the passenger seat being driven to his stash spot. I forgot this man's name. Could y'all please let me know? But respect to him. This is I'm gonna call him Angry Man for right now. But listen, he was driving to Angry Man was driving him all over to different stash houses. It was because that little stash house that he went to, Demo. Okay, thank you, Samara and One Shot Gaming. That little stash house that he went to at first, that only had like one or two boxes. I think he might have stacked the boxes. And then when you get to the trunk, you see a bunch of other boxes. So it's clear that they were hitting up a lot of different stash houses, kind of just collecting the money and stuff like that, because they do need to get off the street. So he got to grab that money. That's what it looked like to me. Okay. But all I know is that he wasn't taken to the freaking hospital. Okay. Now, I guess since the bullet went straight through, that wasn't necessary, and plus we already got Rock. She getting questioned up a storm and stuff like that. So we don't need an extra person. You know what I'm saying? And plus that means that Marvin would have had to get a hold. They would have had to do the story for him and all that. It's too many people involved to try to get a story from. So Marvin stayed the heck out of it. Okay. But you got Demo over there telling him, listen, you good. It went straight through. And then my man, I love Marvin, but I didn't appreciate how he was treating Demo over there, right? He was being a little too rude for me, okay? Be a little grateful, okay? Talking about why ninjas always act like that's some good news. I got a hole in my body that ain't supposed to be there, And he said, so, he's kind of just, got a whole little attitude with Demo, and Demo is just patient. He's just driving. Listen, Demo understand. If anybody understand, it's Demo, right? He's the angry man, or he was, right? So he ain't really saying nothing much to Marvin back. He like, all right, the ninja got shot. I'm not gonna freaking go crazy and say nothing to him or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, he did help me with the elevator situation before, even when I was cursing him out. You know what I mean? But he says, listen, it's better than having a bullet lodged in your spine. You know what I'm saying? So he was kind of like putting things in perspective, I guess. I mean, maybe we didn't get to see that from Marvin, but we did see later on during that little table scene, the scene at the table with Rock and and he kind of was showing he was wincing in pain, and then Juke was concerned. She's like, "Are you okay?" And he said, "I'm living." You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay. So maybe this moment right here helps him put things into perspective. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm living. And another thing, we also hear grown Kanan saying, you just be happy that you alive at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And all of that good stuff. And you gonna thank whoever you gonna think that you made it through after the stuff done hit the daggone fan. What's up, DeMarcus? How are you? All right. So, as we got this going on, we also see Rock. She's in a hospital. Okay. And she's being questioned by the police, of course. They keep asking her to tell them what happened, and her story never changes. Told them about 3 daggone times, and they try to ask her again. She like, "Listen, this is about to be the last daggone time, okay? I done told you this, I done told you that." You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, her story never changed. And, the game plan is to put everything on Crown, guys. They found a way, okay? So we get Lulu being questioned by the cops as well. And before that, he got a call from Rock, and she told him to put everything on Crown and don't mess nothing up, okay? So everything is lining up and the stories are in sync, okay? You even get Detective Howard saying that Crown was a smart dude and he wouldn't put anything past him. Okay. I also like how Rock covered Unique as well. Like she didn't even involve him. All right. She did this by telling the cops that she shot the second guy who came through the door with the first guy's gun, because she had, she shot out all her bullets and stuff. Okay. Now, anyway, of course, guys, the cops are also investigating Baisley and South Jamaica houses or projects, right? So, they put that on Crown too, But anyway, so while Juke and Kanan are in the hospital, they're in the waiting room at the hospital. Okay, there's cops all around and stuff. We do see what's his name, Howard, show up too when he calls Kanan forward. But before this happened, we see Juke watching the news, and the news is saying that due to the corruption of a bad cop, I'm sorry guys, due to the corruption of a bad cop, there's going to be a few prisoners that were released earlier from the prison. All right, now before we move forward, I just got to say that this lady's wig is just, it's just, okay? Like, that's bad. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about the wig, but I just did. So now, that's when we get to Unique's crib, and he comes home after all the shenanigans, and he sees that his brother Rodney is home. All right. So Unique seems to be happily surprised, guys. He doesn't look like he's displeased at all. He even goes in and shows that he's happy to see his brother, right? But Rodney, he wasn't trying to show any kind of love at all. Like, and I was like, you know what? This guy's a freaking jerk. Like, ew. I don't like this guy already, guys. I don't know how y'all feel about him, but I don't like him already. Okay, now, he just gives off like this bad vibe, and I'm almost certain that he's gonna be a villain for this season. Okay, now we even hear grown Kanan say that Rodney was the dude that even the wildest ninja stayed away from. Okay, so let me just be clear: the ninja that everyone avoided in the streets, okay, that everyone stayed away from, that's the ninja that even avoided Rodney. Okay, that ninja even avoided Rodney. All right, so if you was the nigga that everybody avoided, that ninja was the one that avoided him. So he's even crazier than the dude everybody's trying to avoid. Like, I don't like his vibe at all. All right, now clearly we know that with all of that being said, he's gonna definitely be a problem. Okay, that's just that. Let me see what you guys are saying real quick before I move on with this Rodney stuff, okay? Because I'm going to talk about him, and we're going to skip to a scene, and we're not going to talk about him again, all right? So Ronnie ain't going to be like his brother working with Rock. Yeah, he's not going to like him working with Rock. He's creepy. His whole vibe is, yeah, it is. I thought Ronnie was Avon Barksdale, right? Don't he? He was definitely giving me Wood Harris. I was just like, wow, Wood Harris. but I just don't like his vibe. Like, listen, Avon give off this like swaggerific vibe. Like, he's just that dude. This one right here, he just gives off, I can't trust you. I don't want you in my presence. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it. All right. So anyway, guys, I like how the TV was in sync with the exchange, the conversation that was going on between Unique and Rodney. Unique had said, "You ain't gonna get up and show your baby brother no love." And Rodney said, "I don't want my food to get soggy." He didn't say exactly that, but whatever. And that's when we see the guy on TV say that being nice didn't work. Right. So maybe there was a point in time when Rodney was nice, but it didn't get him anywhere. So now he's just cold, even to his own baby brother. As somebody who writes, I kind of like look for little things like this and I just connect with it. It may be nothing, but I just don't think it's nothing. So that's me. All right. But anyway, guys, I'm going to skip ahead and I'm going to talk about the scene where Unique and Rodney are driving through the hood, and Rodney is expressing his unhappiness with the way the corners were looking. He's like, he's used to seeing dudes getting money out in the open. You know what I'm saying? He's like, before I went inside, ninjas was getting paid or whatever. And then Unique was like, yeah, well, when you went inside, I also remember that every time y'all posted up on the corner, here come the cops grabbing y'all up. You know what I'm saying? And Rodney was like, yeah, well, we was staying 10 steps ahead and all of this, blah, blah, blah. So, Unique tries to explain that things are different now, and sometimes business changes and you just got to change with it. And I think that's a smart way of thinking. Sometimes you get these OGs that they just get stuck in whatever time they're in, and they get stuck in the way that they do business. And a lot of times because of that, they never can expand, and then they can't even like keep up with what's changing. They're not innovative. So most likely, as little pieces, like, of course they say the players change but the game stays the same, but little pieces of the game that's changing because of the players, they can't keep up with it because they don't want to keep up with it. You know what I'm saying? And so I just kind of feel like it's definitely going to be a problem. But you can already see, guys, with that being said, you could already see that Rodney's critiques are getting on Unique's nerves already. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm sure that it's not a good feeling to be holding things down for years, only for the person you were holding it down for to come back and say you failed or you suck because you got yourself demoted from the CEO seat that I put you in. You know what I mean? And guys, poor freaking Parissa, because she don't feel comfortable at all with Rodney staying there. And I would have just probably closed the door on him. Like, I don't know, but we don't know how crazy this dude is yet. So she might have done the right thing by closing the door, by opening the door for him, like it was, she had to take her chance, but guys, it's just crazy. I just can't wait till it unfolds, but before I finish talking about Rodney, I want to go back, right? Like, I like Unique. He was the ops at one point, but I still liked him anyway, right? However, we saw what happened. He kind of had like a little downfall. He did. He fell, right? And his brother I understand where his brother is coming from. Like, I could get his brother's frustration, okay? I gave you something. I had you hold it down. I put you in the CEO seat. Now to come back and you basically working for Rock or whatever, And I just want to make the point that while he makes a good point, we can't forget that Unique really was almost down for the count. Like, he was looking like he was really lost, but he came back. You know what I'm saying? Like, he may not be back on top, but he made sure that he didn't get himself deleted. You know what I'm saying? And he put little things in place to where it worked out for him. And he still has a little plan and all of that stuff. So, like, you got to give him his props at the end of the day. But the brother ain't trying to hear that, because he's like, it shouldn't have happened, especially after no woman. And he ain't saying that, but I'm pretty sure that's what he's thinking. You know what I mean? Listen. Unique got outmaneuvered, and that's just the bottom line. And it happens in the game, and I'm pretty sure that eventually, with this type of mindset that Rodney has, he would have eventually got outmaneuvered by Rock as well. Okay, that is that. Keatum game. Let me see. Rodney overrated. Watch, we seen this all before. Yeah, I don't really care about him, to be honest with you. I hope Kanan teach Ronnie the new way of running the game. I don't give a daggone. Do you believe in storylines and parallels in Raising Kanan? I mean, I try not to get too far into that, guys. Y'all know, like, I'm not a super duper canuber power fan. Like, I just watch the show. Like, I'm not like doused in trying to cross the lines and comparing it to the other shows in the universe. Like, that's just too much. Like, I'm just trying to watch the show, and I'm trying to, if it's obvious, then I'll point it out. Like, oh, they did this in the original Power, or this, that, you know what I mean? But I'm not doing all of that. Shoot. I'm out here trying to write a dissertation. I do not have time for that, but I appreciate the question though. What's up, that girl? I really like this episode. This is officially my favorite Power Show. Facts, girl. Facts. Thank you, that girl, for the $5 super chat. I really, really appreciate you. So, yeah, Big Wolf, I agree. Like, I feel like he may be overrated as far as people being excited for him. I'm not excited for him. I just feel like it's a new villain. And that's that. Like, you're just a new villain. And I'm fine with that. Let's bring on the new villain. Let's move him out the way and then bring on the next one. Like, as long as the show is alive, we're going to keep on getting these new villains and moving them the heck about the way. Totally cool with it, All right, so let me see where we're at, guys. So, enough about Rodney. Let's get back to the family, okay? So, like I said, poor Parissa. All right, so while Howard tells the detectives that he wouldn't put anything past Crown, guys, you got Lulu telling them that Crown seemed to always live beyond his means, but he never heard about him selling drugs. So I was just like, I don't know if that's what he should have said. But, when you hear the cops talk, they're saying that everybody's story is matching up. You know what I'm saying? But I did think that it was kind of funny when Lulu told the officer that Crown owed like money to the entire United Nations, and I was like, dang, that's crazy. All right. So next, guys, we have Burke. Oh, this was such an annoying scene. But when when the captain was giving it to her, I was loving it. All right. Now, she comes into the hospital telling Howard that she needs to talk to him right now. Okay. In front of the captain, in front of every daggone body. And the captain is like, no, you're not about to talk to him about nothing. We don't have time for your bull crap right now. And so he's like, you need to get out of here, because then she tries to blow him up, right? She's like, no, because I'm pretty sure that all of Detective Howard's lies have something to do with what's going on here, and this, that, and the third. And he said, you know what? Out. We're not doing this. Out. So they go outside, and he's like, listen, I've been trying to help you, girl. I really have. He even brought up a scenario of when he remember her as a child and all of this stuff like that, right? But I was just glad that he shut her up. That was my main thing, because she's over here like, oh, he has all these secrets. She was even trying to tell him that when they was outside, but he kept shutting her down like, nah, I don't want to hear it. And I was just like, yes, because a lot of times on these shows, like, they be letting the people talk and letting them tell. Like, he was shutting her down, okay? And I was just so happy about that, right? I don't want to hear nothing else. Shut up. All right. So, like I said, they're outside, and he says, I tried to help you, and I'm trying to keep you from taking yourself down, but now it's like you want to take Detective Howard down and the rest of the force as well, and I'm not giving you the chance to do that, so you're going to be suspended. Give me your badge and all of that stuff, right? And so I'm like, wow. She's like, oh, you can't do that. And he's like, what? When he said, of course, I can do that, I'm like, girl, what you mean he can't do that? He's your captain. How did they going to tell him that he can't do that? All right, so whatever. He's like, yes, I can. I'm doing it right now. So she's leaving, and before she leaves, she decides that she just has to tell him, my mom did the best she could, and it's just unfortunate for her. She was married to my dad. And I'm just like, what is that even for? Like, just walk the heck away. I guess she just needed to defend her mom real quick. And hey, I guess, ain't nothing wrong with that. But I just was like, girl, you could have left that one out. That wasn't going to save you or nothing, okay? Because the way he brought up the mother, because clearly he thinks that she got some childhood trauma that's causing her to act out the way she's acting. All right, now I'm gonna tell y'all real quick before I move on from Burke, right? Her problem is that she's a rookie who is doing too much, okay? Like, you can't do the stuff that she was doing at the level that she was at, right? You got to be on Detective Howard's level before you start doing stuff like that. Like, she was just digging and digging and digging. And I mean, come on, we knew she was gonna get popped. I just didn't know it was gonna happen the first freaking episode. I done told y'all a while back that the moment they show her family, you already know her death is nearby. Because that is one thing, DeMarcus, right? That is one thing that happens in Power. They show a character's family, you know they gone soon. We don't know exactly when, but once you show a character's family, for some reason, that's an indication that death is soon coming. Okay, because you also got to introduce the family so that you could kind of see the aftermath, or you could be familiar with the person that's going to step up and speak and all of this other crap. You know what I mean? But anyway, what's up, OT Lungs? What's up with the life pass? I love being part of your Thanksgiving film. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And I definitely love sharing with you guys. All right. Tina says Burke is like a little bug. I'm glad she's out. Howard really tried to save her. I mean, I think he tried to save her. But speaking of Howard, guys, you got to give it to this guy, because like he comes out and he's like, if Burke gets out of her own way, she could be good police. And to me, this is not a genuine statement. Like, he's just trying to make sure that in no way, shape, or form he's going to indicate that he has any type of malice towards this lady. Okay. And I'm telling you right now, he know how to play the game. Okay. Like, let me tell you something. He is not the best person, obviously, but I like his character, and I'm happy that Omar Epps is on this freaking show. I'm sorry. I am so happy he's on this show because he's amazing. All right. When he plays bad, when he plays good, like, he's just amazing. So I'm glad he's here. I hope he stays for the long run. I said long run. I'm about to say haul and run at the same time. So I hope he stays for the long run. Jeez, long haul. Anyway. What's up, your queen? So I didn't like Burke's character, but she was the best detective. They dropped the ball on her development. She to go on getting in for she really, listen, she was good. She was good. And so when Detective Howard said that, that she would be good police if she get out of her own way, he wasn't lying about the fact that she would be good police. She was good police. She just didn't know how to play the game properly. And I think that's always the problem with certain people, especially people that have like integrity and this and that. Like, when you're working with people that are corrupt, you can't be all the way on your, like your integrity vibe. Like, you gotta put a little, and I'm not trying to say that you gotta be conniving a little bit, but you gotta at least keep some secrets. You can't let these people know that that's the main thing with everything in the game, in law enforcement, and everything. You can't let people know that what's going on, because then if they know, then you get deleted. And that's what the heck happened with her. So she won't be missed, though. She was a good cop, but she will not be missed. I mean, we don't really care about cops in Power, do we? All right, so let's move on. You know what I'm saying? So where am I at? All right, so guys, later on, Detective Burke, she sits down with her dad. He kind of curses her out, like, because everybody was telling her, you need to leave this situation alone. So now she done got herself into trouble. Her dad is saying, listen, You screwed up. Nobody cares about Detective, what's his name? Howard. Nobody cares about him but you. And she's like, and that's a problem, Dad, but don't yell at me, so she don't want to get yelled at her dad and stuff like that, but he's socking it to her because it's the truth. Her girlfriend even told her to leave the daggone thing alone. She didn't want to listen. Now she lost her girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, so now he says, you know what, you're going to go down with me to that meeting with IAD. And I don't want you to say anything. The more you just follow my lead, the less you say, the better, because I know how these people are. But unfortunately, he didn't know what his daughter was into, okay? Because when they get down there, they tell her that they see that she has a pattern of illegal behavior that involves minors. So she out here looking like she could possibly be a whole pedophile or something like that. And we don't freaking know. Oh, I really hope that it was okay for me to say that. All right. But that's just that. So it's just not looking good for her at all. Okay. She had a very horrible final episode. And let's just say that Detective Howard put her out of her misery. You know what I'm saying? OT says you defeating the purpose by letting them know. Exactly. You ain't no cop, Jay Reed, right? Defeating the whole freaking purpose. Shut your mouth. Gather all the information you need and do what you got to do. Wait for the right moment to strike. Because they play the game. You got to play the game some way, somehow. All right, guys. So now we got Stefano, and he tells Sally that he really screwed things up. Okay. And Sally's like, I'll clean it up. I'll clean things up. You'll see. We're just going to let things, calm down a little bit on the streets. I'll clean it up, Stefano. I'll clean it up, right? But Stefano tells him that his cleaning days are over. You could go to Jersey and clean up. I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot of mess that you could clean up over there, okay? And then he said, and by the way, you're going to buy some freaking fish before you leave, all right? I'll tell you one thing about Stefano. He daggone sure know how to make sure every time he conduct any business in that fish shop that people is going to leave with some fish. Like, you're not going to miss an opportunity to buy this fish. It actually costs for you to have not an actual sit down, but to have a meeting with me. It actually costs you. You're going to have to buy some fish, all right? And if you don't have a tank, I guess you're going to have to buy a daggone tank too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, he definitely makes sure that people buy things. One thing I do want to say real quick before we move on. First of all, love Tony Danza. Second of all, y'all know that I just finished covering Get Gotti. All right, it's a docuseries on Netflix, only 3 episodes long. Very insightful, right? But there was a lot of bugging going on, right? A lot of wiretaps, and they have the feds really got him, and he was talking and talking and talking. Now there was a moment where Sally was about to say something inside of the fish shop, and Stefano stops him like, no, the fish have ears. You know what I'm saying? So they go outside, and he lets them know, listen, I heard through a little, a trusted source of mine that the feds have been bugging certain areas around here. So that's another thing we got to pay attention to. Now, we don't know who has been bugged and where, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come up again in this season, right? And they just got to be careful wherever they talk. So I appreciate the fact that he thought about that, and he was like, I'm not talking indoors. Like, we're just not doing that. And that's one thing that we pointed out, that John Gotti just did not, like, he didn't think about it. He was just like, yep, running that mouth. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. So let's move on. So guys, now we get to this scene right here. Kanan, he wants nothing to do with his mom, all right, at all. In his eyes, she's a freaking liar, okay? Like, he don't even want to help her unpack because he doesn't live there, he says, all right? And who gives a daggone if you don't live there? Even if you don't live with your mom, how is that an answer to give? I don't live here. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't, that's still your mother, right? And so Uncle Marvin is not having it. He's like, you want to help her unpack these daggone boxes, okay? So, Marvin also had to, like, take a deep breath and everything, because Kanan just kind of walked away, and he was like, whoo, I'm gonna have to do my breathing exercises again, because this little boy about to make me put hands on him, okay, with this bullet hole and all. It's about to go down. All right. So anyway, they go and they sit at the table, and Rock is telling them, listen, I'm done with the game. It's not worth it to, whatever's happening with us, it's not worth me being in the game anymore. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna fix some things and I'm gonna make it right, blah, blah, blah. And so, Kanan basically, he practically was just like not trying to hear anything that she had to say. And he pretty much almost blew up the whole thing about Detective Howard being his dad, and before I move on to that, guys, I just want to mention real quick before I forget that, Rock lied to Juke about Kenya, about what Kenya said that night, but it was obviously to make her feel better. She's clearly trying to be strong about the situation, but it does bother her. And to hear that her mother came there because she felt sad or she was hurting or this, that, and the third, that's just something, I guess, that's kind of like a gift to Juke, even though it was a lie. But at the same time, I don't really think it was a lie. It was a lie because she didn't say it. But I do believe that Kenya felt this way. She did feel bad, but she didn't say that. Okay. But anyway. And then you got Marvin chiming in saying, I got my opinions about Kenya, but I know she loved you, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So now we got Kanan, he blowing up on Rock, basically like, I don't even want to talk. You want to talk and everything. He said, whenever I don't want to talk to you, I'm done with the talking, because when you talk, that means you're lying. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to hear nothing no more. And I ain't trying to be a part of it. So he leaves out. But before that, he said, the only reason why I came down to the hospital is so I could get the story type between that you and my father came up with. So now you got you got freaking Marvin looking like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I will talk to everybody, Kanan. Okay, I will explain more to you, and I will talk to y'all together. Look, Rock, she wasn't trying to sugarcoat anything. I'll give her that. Okay, we know that she's been lying a lot lately. It does seem like she's a little bit serious about what she's saying so far, that she's really out the game. Now, we've seen this plenty of times before where folks try to get out the game, but something pulls them back in. So what is the thing that's going to pull Rock back in? Maybe her little meeting with Stefano. I don't know. But something's going to pull her back in. Okay. But right now, she seems to be very serious about getting out the game for real and being done with it. Because she even later on tells Unique the same old thing. Okay. I'm not feeling like she got something up her sleeve. I'm just really feeling like this is how she feels for real. Okay. So anyway, so he's pissed off, and what's his name is like, what the heck is going on? What are you talking about? So she says, Kanan leaves. She sends Juke out to talk to Kanan. And while they're inside, while the brother and sister are inside, she's telling him the whole story. And because she's like, it's gonna blow your mind what I'm about to tell you. So when she finally tells him, he's like, yo, like, does Lulu know? Because remember, Lulu was her right hand at one point, and Marvin was the outsider. So Marvin wasn't knowing nothing. He was always in the dark. Now the roles have switched, okay? Because Lulu can't stand her because he's tired of her making him delete folks that he don't want to delete, And so she's like, no, I'm not going to tell him because, I'm not going to give him a reason to hate me more. You know what I mean? And he's like, but how did you keep this secret for so long? And she's like, man, what did you think was going to happen to my son if they found out that his father was a cop? What did you think people was going to do to me? Right? So it's all about protecting her son, of course, protecting herself, this and that and the third. All right. But he said, your secret's safe with me, this and that. So it wasn't so bad. It was cool or whatever, so then you go outside and you hear Juke, and she's trying to tell her cousin that, just try to hear her out. You know what I mean? He's like, man, I know you're not believing the stuff that this lady in there talking about. Like, you believe that nonsense about her saying that she gonna leave the game behind? Like, she need the game. She is the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? Okay. And I like the fact that, you know, as he said that she need the game, she is the game, right? Later on, Unique tells Rock that she's the best part of the game. So at least it's agreed that you can't define the game without Rock being a part of the freaking equation, okay? But anyway, guys, you know, Juke tells Kanan that what Rock said seemed genuine. All right. But he just had to bring up Juke's mom and try to blame Kenya's death on Rock. You know, he said, that's what she do. She screw up everything she touched, right? And, you know, this is coming from the kid who literally screwed up everything he got into, everything that his mother told him not to get involved in and all of that stuff, right? And she had to go up on a cleaning spree. She had to go on a cleaning spree, even if that meant deleting folks. She had to do it because this dude was in over his head and he was doing things messing in grown folks' business and he shouldn't have. Yes, some of his ideas were good, but when you're not seasoned, you don't need to be messing around with certain things. And that's just the bottom freaking line. Okay. But the nerve of him to say that everything she touched, she screws up and whatever he said. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, And one thing I can't stand is with certain shows, whenever there's somebody that's mad, and then there's another person like Juke who's trying to get them to, you know, kind of understand or, you know, be rational. They always try to bring in something that could probably try to sway them and make them get mad too. Like you gonna bring up her mother and say somehow she was able to get your mother mixed up in there too. Yo, the mother was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and that is just that. Kenya lived in freaking, what did she live in the Bronx or Harlem? It don't matter. She lived in another borough. Okay. And she wasn't a part of their lives. She just started coming around. She wasn't even coming around. It was what's her name? I forgot. I'm sorry, Juke. It was her going to her mother. So to say that stupidness, so annoying to me. Oh my gosh, so annoying to me. Like, bro, shut up. And I'm so glad that Juke is mature enough not to let, you know, somebody manipulate her. Like, I'm so happy that she was strong enough for that because that was so stupid. And honestly, she had to know that was false anyway. That didn't make no sense. You know what I mean? So she's like, just come on, you know, do whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, he said, I'm outie. Sounding dumb. What's up, young boy? He's talking about he right though. He not right. He wrong. He wrong. All right. And that's that. He wrong. So, let's move on, y'all. So next we got Kanan telling Famous that he's never going home again. All right. Now, Famous tells him that this independent life ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he got eviction notice. He got, what up, Brills? He got an eviction notice. Of course, you're going to say your son is right, or your grandson, or whoever the heck he is. He ain't your grandson. He must be your son, I don't know. Your son. That little ninja ain't right. Okay? So he's over here basically being a bad influence. Okay? Like, can we talk about that he's being a bad influence? I just love the fact that, like, when you have kids like Kanan, I'm sorry, not Kanan. Yeah, well, let's say that. Kids like Kanan who want to move out, right? They want freedom or they just want to get away from their parents, this and that. And then you get with a friend who knows how it is to live away from your parents prematurely, you know what I'm saying? And telling you, listen, it ain't all that. If my mom tell me to come back, I'll be back with the quickness in my room, watching TV, doing some other things that's strange, you know? And you hear someone like Famous telling this kid this, but he don't want to listen because why? Does he ever want to listen, y'all? No, the heck he doesn't. He never wants to listen. He always wants to do his own thing, which is the reason why he's not right about what he's saying about his mother. He's not right. All right. Anyway, so, you know, Famous is like, plus we about to be out on our butts. All right. Bringing back the eviction notice. Okay. Bringing it back. All right. And so he says, yo, well, what about Samrod? Is it Samrad, guys? So, you know, this is Kanan's solution, right? It's, of course, to sell drugs because this is all the freak he knows, even though he's brilliant. He's a smart kid, right? We learned this in season 1. He's very smart. All right. But he don't want to do nothing with the books. He want to be in the streets. He love the game. Okay. So, he's like, let's sell drugs, blah, blah, blah. I know he ain't say all that, but it is what it is. I'm a paraphrase. And Famous is saying, you know what, I don't want to sell drugs because it didn't work out for me the first time. Like that's not a route that I want to go, right? And Kanan is like, well, like you said, this is the part where I say he's being a bad influence. Like you said, we about to be out on our A. You know what I'm saying? Like we got rent due, you know what I'm saying, bills to pay, whatever. And so, they do go see Simrad anyway, right? But Simrad was like, it ain't happening, especially because he don't trust Kanan. Now, one thing that I feel about this scene, guys, I'm wondering if there was a little bit of foreshadowing in this scene. I'm also wondering if the kid Ramiro is gonna come up again. You know what I mean? It was just too much saying his name, in my opinion. And there was also like something that Simrad said, and he was like, even if because he was like, first of all, it's hot right now, and I really like, I'm just not trying to do that right now, right? And then he said, even if it wasn't hot and everything was cool, right? I wouldn't trust having y'all sell my stuff because I think that this fiend, talking about Famous, is gonna smoke it all, right? Because he's a fiend, he's fiended out or whatever. And so for me, that kind of felt like a little bit of a foreshadowing, making me feel like, is Famous gonna go, like, is he gonna take it up a notch? You know what I'm saying? We see him smoking all the freaking time, but is he gonna go up a notch, like to something else? Is he on the gateway path? You know what I mean? And that's gonna be some problems, because if he's gonna be on this guy's team, Kanan's team, the last person, or last, whoever, the last person, I'm gonna just say that the last person that you need on your team is somebody that's gonna be using. You know what I mean? So I just kind of think that might be something to look forward to, or to look out for. I'll say that. All right. Take it up a notch is crazy. Why? What did I say? Oh my God. Is that a pause moment? Please. Because I was talking to my son about that. Like, he always got the pause moments going on. It's like, come on, give me a break. All right, y'all. So next we got Lulu. And he's complaining, of course. He's very, very pissed off. He's stressed out in this episode to the point where I am afraid, because I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't see it ending well for him. But I just don't want it to happen too soon. You know what I'm saying? Please. Okay. So now he's complaining to Marvin about Rock. He's saying, F Rock. F Rock. So OT said it was just funny. Okay. So now, he also tells Marvin about Scrap. All right. Like, did she tell you that she screwed up on Scrap, that Scrap wasn't a snitch and all of that stuff, And then, Marvin saying, well, even if Scrap wasn't a snitch, he was definitely into something that he shouldn't have been into, because he was telling me I know he was lying about him going to help his cousin that day or whatever. And I had to think, and I was like, what the heck was he lying about? Because there was something he was lying about. We know that he wasn't a snitch, but then I had to think, like, I think it was because of he was gambling. He wasn't supposed to be gambling, right? Like, I think Rock had told him, like, don't be getting involved in all that stuff. Stuff is hot, this and that, whatever, something like that. It was something along those lines, but he was hiding the fact that he was breaking a rule that he was told not to break, okay, which was doing a little gambling stuff, okay. So anyway, he said, regardless, we gonna pour some out for Scrap. That's what Marvin is saying. All right. And so, with tears in his eyes, Lou says that Scrap didn't deserve how we did him. And I don't know. I know a lot of people, y'all not feeling Lulu, and he is this and he is that. But like, at the same time, like, I do feel where he's coming from. We saw from season 1, he didn't want to get rid of D-Wiz, but he did what he was supposed to do as a soldier. You know what I mean? Now he's starting to find out that his sister ain't who he thought she was. He probably used to look up to her. Now he's seeing that she's probably a monster, Because the first thing that we see in this episode is, oh, so when she say she out the game, she just out. But when I say I'm out the game, she say she own me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, I guess, I could see where he coming from. I could see where he's coming from. So, let me see. Big Smooth said, I'm so tired of this dude pouting. I mean, hey, he's in a situation, I guess. All right. And JT said, Lulu in that bottle heavy. He sure is. He sure is. He in that bottle. Like, I don't know what. That's not the way to go, though, because, once that happens, it's another. This start happening. That start happening. That means that his mind is not going to be his. He's not going to have control. He's going to wind up running his mouth to somebody that he ain't supposed to be running to or nothing like that. You know what I mean? AG says, scrap being eliminated broke my heart. What's up, AG? Your queen says, I like Lulu. He got real fan problems. This can tear you up, mental and emotional turmoil. Exactly. Kanan tougher than Lulu right now, which is crazy. I mean, Lulu been through more than Kanan. So at the end of the day, like, this man been putting in work, and so he's allowed to have a freaking breaking point. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's going his way. He's not happy. His sister telling him that she owned him. He want to chase his dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not able to live your dreams, let's talk real talk, real life. If you're not able to live your dreams in real life, you're miserable. You're a miserable human being. There's nothing worse than not being able to have your dreams fulfilled, or the desires of your heart, the thing that you want to do most in this world. There's nothing worse than that. You're not going to be happy as long as you're doing something, you're working for somebody else all their lives, trying to make their dream, come true, this and that. And that's what the heck is happening. At the end of the day, the best leader or the best boss is the one that's going to say, you know what, you helping me out, you working for me, but I want you to always elevate and you go to the next step, because you're going to continue to get new employees, new workers. You know what I'm saying? That's in the street and that's in corporate or whatever, or your job. Nobody should try to keep you at a selfishness. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just being selfish. I own you, nigga. I'm like, what? I own you? But like, now you saying you don't want to freaking do this and do that no more. It's not worth it. Now you want to say it's okay for you to leave? Oh my gosh. OT Lung said, Miss K, he need to stop crying, and that's and crying and separate. Okay, got you. That's a fact. I mean, yeah, he does. Maybe he feels trapped. He ain't got no money. He ain't got nothing. I don't know. But sometimes you do just need to, like, tough, just get a little tough skin, or just make up your mind and be like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna save up a little coin, and I'm moving and I'm separating myself. That's just it, So yeah, yes, he's hurt. He's crying and all that. Yeah, he's bothered. His consciousness is it's bothering him, guys. It's just whatever. All right, so guys, moving on. We got Jukebox, who sits down with, I guess, some type of counselor or something like that, who tells her that singing is not a career. Okay, it's a pastime. I don't know how many stories we've heard with people saying that, being a comedian is not a career. Acting is not a career. Singing is not a career. All those things, those jobs that people feel like it's a 1 in a million type of chance for you to succeed at that situation, they always doo-doo on that. They always crapping on your dreams. Like, there's no encouragement. You always hear about that from back in the day. I don't know if teachers nowadays still do that, but back in the day, like, you always hear the story of teachers crapping on somebody, y'all. Like, no, that's not, you have to get a real job. Oh, get a real job at what? Wendy's? What was the other job? Wendy's and White Castles on the daggone board. And then going to try to tell the chick to go fight for the country or join the military and all of that. Like, it was just sad. It was freaking sad. So Jukebox turns into a daggone crazy cop. How about that? How you like them apples, chick? That's what you get for not knowing my name. Now I'm about to be a menace to society, but I'm going to be on the other side of the law, tearing stuff up. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, that's some sweet justice right there, or poetic, should I say. But anyway, let's move on. She didn't even know her name, y'all. She was like looking on the paper, like, okay, well, good luck, Laverne. And then go and get her little sandwich, little big freaking sandwich out and start eating and everything. Like, she don't give a damn. Well, she's just there doing a job. Like, she ain't doing a job well, obviously. She's just collecting a freaking paycheck. Okay. Dad, we've been up in here for 50 minutes. Sheesh. I'm not even halfway done, I don't think. Whew. Anyway. Renee said that was a public school counselor talking down to black. That's a fact. Renee shouldn't have died. Marvin needed a woman. Like, yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. Like, wow, they really just killed Renee off like that. Yeah, I was totally annoyed with her too. But hey, Juke, she became something else. That's why you should have helped her. Should have helped her out because she became a menace. All right, let's see where we at now. Oh, so this scene right here, I thought it was pretty it was emotional. I enjoyed it because I like seeing like this little change with Marvin, his little character arc going on, because this is very unfamiliar territory to him. Juke comes home, she sees Marvin, he's going through a bunch of stuff, right? Before she gets in the door, we see him kind of like lift up the sweater and he smells it. And I'm like, what is he smelling? And I'm thinking to myself, I know that's not what's her name stuff? What's her name? Kenya stuff. Like, but it was. But that was the only person, like, that's the only way it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But it was weird to me to see him smell it. And it just kind of showed that he still really cared about this lady. You know what I mean? Yeah, we don't get along. I don't mess with you like that, whatever. But he still had love for her. And it definitely, I like how they showed that in this episode. And, he was telling Juke that they're going to have a memorial service for her at the church and everything. And he said, I'll go with you if you want me to. And it just looked like, kind of like opened up Juke's eyes even more, like, wow, you will. But she didn't have nothing to say. So he gets up and he looked so hesitant when it came to hugging her. But like I said, this is new territory for him. And he still hugged his daughter. So I definitely was feeling that. And she, put her chest in her her head in her dad's chest, and she hugged him back. She's crying and everything. A lot of people was trying to say that they don't even think she was going to care about her mother's dying. And I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? What do you mean she's not going to care? Of course she is. Yeah, she, did what she did. But come on, guys. Like, our parents mess up sometimes, but that doesn't stop us from loving them, or we won't want anything to happen to them or whatever. Normal people, let me say that, okay? I love Marvin and Juke's bond. Yeah, me too. I'm really, really feeling it. And, it's just kind of scary because you just don't know how it's going to go. You already know it's like the story's not going to end well. We're not watching a freaking fairy tale. We're watching Power, All right, guys, let me finish talking about that. All right, so now, guys, we have Howard, who comes to tell Rock that they need to go see Kanan and let him know that they're on the same side. So they go see him and tell Famous to get the stepping in his own place. All right. And Detective Howard tells Kanan that, like, it's too hot right now, so they got to keep everything tight. All right. We on the same side, blah, blah, blah. Right. So Kanan says, wow, that's interesting because, it really didn't seem like y'all was on the same side when you sent me to put him down. And he's saying this to Rock. All right. And Detective Howard says, just the fact that you would speak on that, even when it's just me and your mom here, that's a problem, which is why we're here. Okay. So Detective Howard, he goes on to say that the FBI is getting involved now. Like, the streets are really dangerous, and we in the crosshairs, South Jamaica, we in the crosshairs, blah, blah, blah. So Kanan was like, what about your partner then? You know what I'm saying? She know everything. Okay, now Kanan even tells them how Burke came around and put everything together about being Howard's son, even the fact that she know that he was the one that shot Detective Howard in the park that night. Okay. And so Howard says, don't worry about that. I'll handle it. It definitely came to a surprise. It came as a surprise, to Howard and to freaking, what's her name? Rock. She was like, you over here telling us to keep stuff tight, but your freaking partner about to screw everything up. You know what I'm saying? About to blow the lid off of every daggone thing. He's like, y'all don't worry about her. I got it. I'm going to take care of her. So he's leaving out, right? And so you got Kanan who tells him one more time, like, yo, your partner, she going to screw all of us up, okay? And it don't matter if she's a cop. She knows the score. So guys, without words, we know what this conversation is about, okay? This is a straight hit on Detective Burke, okay? And it just shows us that in some moments, in some of these shows, moments like this is where you don't need to say anything. Like there's just some words that don't need to be said. You know, for the situation to be handled is for this lady to get deleted. And that is that. And we all knew that Burke was gonna be the one to do it though. I said Burke. Howard gonna be the one to freaking do it. Well, y'all knew. Mm-mm-mm. Oh man, not Kanan mentally calling the hit right. Exactly. Kanan was actually right because Rock felt the same way because Kanan is a younger version of Rock. All right. Let me see where else we are at. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm on the right path, guys. All right. So yeah, we about to close up. So we're not doing bad. I thought that I wasn't even halfway through, but we are. All right. So, guys, Burke's girlfriend breaks up with her, all right, because now the IAD is all over her. And she's like, I don't feel like you're worth it. Like, I don't even know why the heck I circled back around to your freaking behind. I told you to leave this thing with Howard alone. And you still wanted to just do what you want to do because it's always about you. You're selfish, blah, blah, blah. And then she talked about how like her mom only has a year to live. And you know, her mom is clearly living off of the care that she's getting from her job, like the benefits that she's getting from her job. So Burke is not worth it. She's just trouble, you know? So it's just like falling apart for this girl. It's falling apart. And I didn't feel sorry for her. I'm sorry. All the stupid faces and everything that she was making and stuff, or the sad faces, and I don't care. You may have been trying to do the right thing because you seen that there's a dirty cop behind things or whatever. Or at the same time, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to see if I can advocate for this freaking chick that I don't like. I don't think I can, guys. Because I was about to say, like, I just can't. No, never mind. I just can't. Because I kind of feel like she should have been able to kind of understand Howard a little bit. You know, like, all right, the dude found out later on that this kid was his son. So now why couldn't she understand that he was trying to you know, trying to cover up for the kid? He found out that this is his son. So I mean, you can't get that? Whatever. I can't do it. Yeah, I can't advocate stupidity. Like I tried. I know. Look, I be trying. I remember one time I had to do that for Autumn Night. I did good though, guys. I did good. I can't do it for Burke. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. All right, guys. So now we have Neek who tells Parissa because Parissa is telling Unique that she feels so uncomfortable with Ronnie being there. Is it Ronnie or Rodney? It's Ronnie, right? She feels so uncomfortable with Ronnie being there. And he's like, this is my brother. What do you expect? What you want? Like, what you want from me? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I just don't feel comfortable with him, blah, blah, blah. And so all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I'm going to take care of it. I'll be back. So I'm like, okay. So please tell me, like, because he's like, he has a plan. Next thing you know, he goes to Rock's house and clickety claps. Oh my gosh. Listen. He put the gun on the table and she just finished scrambling some eggs and everything. And I'm just like, what does screwing Rock have to do with the plan? But I'm pretty sure we're going to find out, y'all. Like, if he can he knows that Rock knows how to manipulate and come up with a plan for this, that, and the third. If he could get Rock on his side to the point where, like, they're actually screwing with each other and stuff, if he want to take his brother out, he could use Rock to do it. So I'm definitely, yeah, I'm on board with these shenanigans. I really, really am. I told you, I'm on board with all of the shenanigans, all a mess. I'm so glad that they didn't show the sex scene though, because I just didn't want to see it. I was just like, please, I don't want to see it. I feel like Unique is fine. I feel like, Rock is a pretty woman, but I just don't think they go well together. Her and it was okay for me to see her and Symphony, but I just couldn't deal with, her and Unique. I feel like it's just two different age groups, and I'm not trying to play her. I just feel like she's a few years older, maybe 10. Some of y'all probably like, so. But I'm just saying, I just didn't want to see it. So I'm glad that they didn't show a lot, because they done shown Rock just doing her thing. Like, well, what's her name singing? What is that song by Whitney Houston? You give good love. Is it You Give Good Love? I found out you give good love to me. Let me stop. Child, I got to stop. Rock needed some meat. All right, I don't even know why I highlighted that. What's up, Detroit? I love me some Rock. I love her too. They were so uncomfortable. It really was. Listen, it wasn't that they were, but they weren't. Like I feel like the thought of them was more uncomfortable because they did us right by not showing it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Even the kissing wasn't that bad, but I was just like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see it. Okay. Anyway, you give good love. So who knows how that situation gonna go, y'all. I just think he's gonna use her, like really team up with her to use her to take some folks out. You know what I mean? So now we get to this scene right here, guys. And Lulu and Kanan, they talking. Kanan comes to the house that his mother's about to sell. Kanan is, I'm sorry, not Kanan. Lulu is saying like, yo, it seemed much smaller without the stuff and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, this is my life right here. I grew up here, blah, blah, blah. Kanan says the same thing. And, he's like, Lulu is saying, she wants to sell this house. Like, this is their childhood home that she wants to sell. She don't care about nothing. So this is kind of where this guy's mind is right now. You even heard Marvin tell him that, like, oh, that liquor got you really talking. And he said, no, this is me talking my real stuff right now. Like my emotions, like I'm letting it all out. I'm getting it out. Because normally he really didn't always say stuff. I know, some of y'all saying that he, that you're tired of him pouting and all of that. But he didn't really say nothing before. Like, y'all really got to remember that. If you go back to season 1, he didn't say much. He used to, you could just read his facial expressions and see that he didn't like what he was being told to do. So now he's finally saying, no, this is me. Like, this is what's really going on with me. I'm telling you how I'm feeling now. All right. And so in this scene, he's telling Kanan, like, I asked you here because I just kind of feel like you're the only one that I can talk to right now. You're the only one who knows her and sees her the way I do. So once again, we have these like minds coming together with, this mutual hate for this woman, which is one guy's mother and one guy's big sister. All right. It was a pretty emotional scene too, because he tells Kanan that, like, did your mother tell you that she's the one that got D-Wiz deleted? And Kanan says yes. So he's like, did she tell you that I'm the one that did it? So that was kind of like, you could tell that was like a little sting right there to Kanan's heart. Like, ooh, you know what I mean? And he said, I think she made me do it so that it could screw with me forever. I don't think Rock is that twisted, y'all. I really don't. But this is how this is how Lulu is seeing her at this point. Like right now, sometimes when somebody does something to you, it's hard for you to look at them any other way, and it's hard for you to think of any other action that they did before all of that. You think everything now was a part of a game, like it was being, a part of their manipulation and all of that. Like you just can't believe, you don't know nothing, right? You don't know what to believe. So that's kind of where he's at right now. Like she just made me do that so it could screw with me for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And then Kanan said, well, you could have said no, Uncle Lou. And Kanan, this is the only part right here that I felt something with Kanan. Because other than that, throughout this whole episode, the little boy got on my nerves, okay? I don't hate Kanan, guys, but y'all know how I feel about these kids on these shows sometimes, especially power shows. Oh my gosh, they make the kids super annoying. These kids need to get yoked up on power all the time, okay? But anyway, I felt the whole scene right here because of the fact that he's like, you could have said no, Uncle Lou. Lou didn't have nothing to say, right? Because at the end of the day, the truth hurts, right? Like it is true. You are your own man. That's what a lot of y'all been saying in the chat. Like he could just leave. Like I don't understand why he don't just boss up on her. That's true. Why not just boss up on her, be a man, and walk away? Don't do the stuff that she wants you to do. Maybe at some point he was thinking, I don't want to abandon my sister because he was being loyal to her, right? But not knowing that she wasn't really being loyal to him, and as far as wanting him to go live his life and live his dreams. So there you got oh my gosh, what is his name? I can't stand when I do this. Lulu. He don't say nothing when Kanan says you could have said no. You know what I mean? And his silence must have made Kanan realize, like, you know what? I could have said no too. Like, I'm just as messed up as you. I'm in the same position as you. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this time I could have been saying no. Like, she was sending me to go delete a whole cop. You know what I mean? And I could have said no, but I didn't. So there you go with that. All right. You saw they was drinking the night away. And that's just that, guys. What else could we say? You know what I'm saying? It's just a sad thing. Now we also see Marvin show up to what is that the memorial for Kenya. And Juke wasn't there. In the meantime, she was home and she was listening to some of the albums, and she was going through some of the things that her mom had left behind, and just kind of like, just kind of soaking it in, dealing with it her own way, and that's just that. So now we about to get to the final scene. Okay. But I do like, before I move on, I do like how Marvin paid his respects. At the end of the day, that is the mother of his child. They had love, right? So not saying everybody that have kids together be loving each other now. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from what we've heard, they did have some feelings for each other and stuff like that. Okay. But they just went left. All right. Demarcus says both Lulu and Kanan got burnt up in a burning house and got saved by Marvin and Jukebox. Ain't that something? I see you are definitely a fan of making the parallels. For sure. All right. I'm glad Marvin went to pay his respects too. Yeah, to get closure. Yep. All right, guys. So we down to the final scene. And you already know, like, we saw Detective Howard get on the phone with somebody. We knew who the heck it was. Didn't y'all know who it was? He said, I'm tired of this ish. We got to talk about some things. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, blah, 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 right? And so they go on. And, next thing you know, a few scenes, fast forward a few scenes, next thing you know, they in a car talking and all of that. And let me tell you something, y'all. While they was having this conversation, I said, there ain't no daggone way that this girl does not have a recorder on her. A cop like her, a nosy cop like her, there's no way that she's gonna get a message or talk to this man, and he's telling her, I'm going to tell you everything you want to know. And she's already in this state where no one believes her. You know what I'm saying? This would have been her out, or, put her in the clear. This would have been her saving grace. There is no way that she would not have had a recorder. All right. Especially if we know, and we're all saying at the end of the day, she was a good cop. There's no way that she wasn't going to have the recorder. And she had a gun. So anyway, he's over here saying whatever he's saying. And she said, let me tell you what I know. And she breaks it all down. She got everything right. Everything. I mean, too easy, but everything. Okay. Like, we already saw her piecing everything together since, last season and whatever. So now, she said, you also got Sammy deleted and everything. And if you can do that, you can, boom. That was it. He just blasted her, took her out. I was like, ooh. So a lot of times when I be wanting people to get deleted and everything, sometimes when they do get deleted, I still am like, oh snap. Like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, yes. I still have like an old snap moment, like, ooh, like that was a little, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't do that when it came to what's that dude from Force? The cop, Bennigan. I ain't do that with him. I was clapping, jumping up and down. Like, some people I jump up and down for when they get deleted. I'm not gonna lie. But for her, nah, I didn't do that. I was just like, oh man. But I'm happy that she is gone. See ya, Detective Burke. Bye-bye. So now we got Howard, wiping everything down, with blood done splashed on his face and everything. I was like, oh, dear Howard, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? How you gonna play this one? So he takes the gun that he used to delete her. He wipes it off and he puts it in her hand. Make it look like a S, of course, right? And then he starts digging in her pocket, seeing what she got. Oh, you was recording me? He over there on his psycho. See what you made me do? Running your effing mouth. I done told you to be quiet. Look what you made me do, right? He's talking to her, and she's gone. All right. And then he see that first he saw she had the gun, I think, on the side. Okay, because she was ready for the reach. Okay. But she just wasn't quick enough, honey. Like, you was just talking and talking and talking. First of all, you should be afraid to meet a man like that. You don't trust this dude, and you're going to meet him by yourself? Dumb. She's always been a dummy. She may have been a good cop, but she was a dummy. Let's please make that clear. She's a dummy, all right? So, yes, he leaves out. He takes the recorder, and he's making it look like a S. And then he wipes the door handle from the outside. And that's that, y'all. That's how the episode went off. And I was just like, ooh. So, I just love 50 Cent's, like, grown Kanan's narrations. Like, I feel like they're everything. They just give me life from the beginning of the episode, how they start the episode off, how they end the episode. I'm like, it's the best. It's the freaking best. And everything he says, like, I know that, like, he's not trying to be a freaking poet or nothing. He's not rhyming, but it's mad poetic to me. I'm just like, this is just great. I just love it. Okay. Like, he was just basically saying, like, the streets can have you one way, and then you do something and you try to blame the streets, but it's you the one that freaking pulled the trigger. At the end of the day, it's your fault. But F the police. At the end of the day, it don't matter. So, yeah, you can't blame nobody, baby. You can't blame nobody but yourself. You did that. The streets could put you in all kinds of circumstances, but at the end of the day, you did that. And that even goes into that whole thing that everybody's talking about with Lulu. And what Kanan said, you could have said no, because why? At the end of the day, you did that. You're making the choice. You're making the choice. That's that. Anywho, let me see what y'all saying before I get out of here. Make y'all post your last little comments in the chat, because I'm gonna read them real quick and then we're gonna skedaddle. All right. I don't want to make this review too long for the people that's gonna catch on the replay, but I do know that some of y'all be listening to it while y'all at work, so it's good, isn't it? All right. So She was stupid for meeting up with him, thinking she was just gonna tell him everything, and he was gonna tell her everything and let her right. That, I mean, come on now. What do you? Just dumb. Howard have a problem with Patrick Burke now. All right, so I wonder if Adina will care now. Maybe she will investigate Burke's deletion. Yeah, somebody's gonna have to pick something up. That's the only thing about this whole situation, that somebody's gonna have to pick up the freaking baton, and I'm not looking forward to that. I'm just not. I'm not. Who's gonna be the next person? Clearly, the father's gonna get involved. Freaking Adina's probably gonna get involved. I don't know, but maybe Adina don't want to get involved because of the fact that she said she got a mom to take care of. She don't want to take any chances. JT said Howard's gonna end up in jail at the end of the season. All right. 911 is a joke. Dr. Khadija. Who is more crazy, Howard or Ronnie Mathis? How would we know yet? You know what I'm saying? How will we know? We don't know yet. I'm gonna be honest though. Ronnie giving off some real crazy vibes. Like, he just don't seem like he's all there. He just, even with the glasses, and I'm not trying to say that people that wear glasses look creepy, because a lot of times they don't. But there are moments when people can look super creepy with glasses, okay? All right, that walk on by outlook was fire. Something tells me there will be a part 2 with Kanan, Pop, and Howard. I hope not. AG says, yes, I had to listen to that ending part 3 times. Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Savannah. All right, y'all. We about to get out of here. Thank you, LSW. Appreciate you. All right. Mike says, I think it's just gonna look like an S and it won't get picked up. That's a possibility. You know what I mean? That's a possibility, but people might try. Yeah, Ronnie definitely looks unhinged. Let's talk about that, because now, just really quick, I know a lot of people were saying that Jukebox and Burke was going to get together or something was going to happen. And like, we did think that was going to happen, right? Like, maybe something was going to go on, that she got to get involved with somebody that's going to make her want to get into law enforcement. So now we just don't freaking know, y'all. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. She's going to become a cop for whatever reason, and we don't know. Okay? Mike Connie said it's because Ronnie is real calm, but we can tell he's crazy for real. I wouldn't want Ronnie in my house either, child. I'd be like, could you please get out of here? Especially when we look over. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you, DeMarcus. Juke might help catch Howard. You never know. She does know a lot. I always say she knows so much. All right. JT, good night. DeMarcus, Mike Conley, Renee, LSW, Savannah. Thank you so much for being here. Your queen was here. AG, Big Smooth, Big Wolf Status. Did I say JT? Young Boy. We had OT Lungs in the building. What just happened? OT Lungs. We had did I say DeMarcus already? I think I said DeMarcus already. And Detroit Kings, Brillo stopped by. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate everything that you guys do as far as just supporting me. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. And also, please make sure you come back on Sunday with me and the crew when we talk about our least favorite moments, scratching my head moments, if there are any. I'm sure we could come up with something. You know what I'm saying? And our least favorite moments. All right. Take care and be blessed. Bye-bye.